Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, we are doing the Eurogamer review. JK went off to the 2018 Eurogamer and saw lots of new games that are coming out, some that are already out, and then brought back a review for us. So this is JK telling us what Eurogamer 2018 looked like. Flashing, recording. Are you recording? Hello? Yeah, okay. Right, it's podcast time. We'll give it one of them. Let's do this.
What's up, y'all?
Let's do this.
Let's get it done.
Right, come on.
Back in the cave.
Back in the cave. I said on a podcast not too long ago that I was back in the cave. I'm back sweating in the man cave. Because I was sat there and then I went, is the heating on?
I might add that at this time, as we're podcasting, mornings are 4 degrees. And I'm still wearing the shorts.
You're still in the shorts?
Still in the shorts.
I succumbed.
Yeah.
I get cold at times. Not often, but sometimes.
Yeah, the shorts are still all in. So
a little while ago, we did a Eurogamer preview.
We did.
Eurogamer has been and gone.
It has.
So maybe we should do a Eurogamer review. And by the way, I mean you.
Yeah.
You went.
So, right, Eurogamer, Birmingham, NEC. We went on day 3. Because it starts on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We went on the Saturday afternoon and add a Sunday all day ticket as well. I'm not sure what you get if you go on the Thursday, but we saw pretty much everything Friday and Saturday, and it wasn't rammed. It was pretty busy, but it wasn't like crammed.
Do you just get more opportunity to play?
I don't know, because there was a few places where it was like you could queue for an hour to test the game for 10 minutes. But we just didn't bother. We waited till the end of the day when everyone buggers off home, and then we played. And we queued for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you go on your own, you don't queue at all. Because it's mostly groups of people that want to play together. So if you're on your own in a queue, they're like, one guy, and they're like, yeah. So, because it's banks and banks of computers and stuff. So that was a cool way to do it. We found that if we didn't want to play together, which wasn't really an issue, then we could just get in straight away. So a little tip, people: if you want to play with your mates, just forget it, because you'll be queuing for an hour.
Well, I mean, if it's like, oh, I'm going to go and play, like, I presume you had to go on Spider-Man.
I did.
You're not going to be able to play with your friends, so just go and play on your own.
No, but that's what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what happened for Spider-Man.
Fuck them guys.
But there was like Metro Exodus, which you could kind of do co-op, I think. I didn't. I did single player.
But again, I'm thinking, if it's a difference between me and you playing it, or me getting to play it and going, oh, it's really cool, can't wait for it to come out, and then we can play it co-op.
Like I said, I think it depends what you go for. I mean, you've got like 2 days if you get a weekend pass. That's more than enough time to do everything. It
did sound. I had a conversation with Tim. Shout out to Tim Lacey, who at this point is probably never going to come on the podcast.
No, probably not. I'm actually filling in for Tim.
But I did have a conversation with him where he was like, "Yeah, I just get bored." It's like,
but that's true. I mean, I'm not a queuer, so there's no way I'm going to queue for an hour to play a game. This isn't going to happen.
No.
So because you know, I just wasn't going to do that. No. If anyone's watched ZombieCast, you'll know I'd rather just kill everyone in the room, which, you know, was not an option either. So yeah. But no, so what I did, so I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey was my first place. That was my first stop. Because
you were most excited about it, or because you wanted to get it out of the way?
Because I've pre-ordered it, so I wanted to see what was going on with that. I wanted to see if it was going to be any different at all from Origins. And you know what I found? I found that it's the exact same game in every aspect.
What's the status of that pre-order at the moment?
It's only because I haven't had time to go into game and cancel it. But it's not because I don't want to play it. That's not true. I do want to play it. I should come back to it, but I'll do it now because then I can move into the next game. So the reason I'm going to cancel it is because I picked up Strange Brigade.
You did?
So I'm going to play that, and because Assassin's Creed Origin comes out next week, I'm not going to have time to finish Strange Brigade and then start.
It's out next week?
Yeah, it's out next week. It's out on the 5th, I believe.
Wow.
So yeah, it's out next week, so it's October. So I'm not going to have time to play it before I finish Strange Brigade, so I might cancel my pre-order and then just pick it up later on. It's got nothing to do with price or anything. I really enjoyed Origins, and Odyssey is technically a cut and paste.
Yeah.
There are a few more aspects they've added to it, but playing it doesn't feel like a different game. The combat is roughly the same. The interface is more or less exactly the same. I feel that they've probably gone back to their old ways. The game looks nice. It does look nice. It's polished. You can play. There's a choice of characters, so you can play as a guy or the girl, and depending on who you play, will change the way you play. So they're trying to get a bit of longevity out of making you play it twice. So that, you know, there are technically two different storylines, which is kind of cool. It's an interesting aspect. I don't know if it's enough. The menus are the same. The weapon upgrades are the same. The skill tree, from what I could see, was limited, but it was roughly the same.
From the first mention of this game, I think I tagged you in something on Facebook when I first saw a mention of it, going, "Wow, this is soon. Wow, this is early. Do we really need another Assassin's Creed game now? Do we really need an Assassin's Creed game that doesn't look very
The problem
much?
is that I was very much like, I don't need Assassin's Creed, fuck it. And I put the headphones on, I picked up the controller, and I was like, man, I so love Assassin's Creed. And that was my problem. I was wowed by the fact that I like to play Assassin's Creed games. So I've had to put that aside so that I don't just rush out and get a game that I don't need yet.
I tagged you in a live action trailer for that game, and I think my tag on it was, "Wow, this makes this game look even worse." That live action trailer is awful.
I've not seen that yet, but I mean, what I say, it was alright.
Don't watch it. It's terrible.
At the end of the day, if you like Assassin's Creed games, you'll love it. If you liked Origins, then you'll like it. But if you're waiting for something new, it's not that. That's all I can say about it.
But is that a surprise at this point in time? Is anybody sitting there going, "Oh, I'm really surprised that it's not different"?
I'm sure it'll do really well.
It's Assassin's Creed. People buy Assassin's Creed games.
I see you have an array of Assassin's Creed figures.
I do.
So you're obviously a fan, and you'll end up playing it.
I am sure. So there's been a series of games recently where I've said this phrase, "Oh God, I literally can't be bothered with that game. I have no interest in that game." I mean, obviously I'll play it. You know, there are games coming along that I'm like, I don't care about that game. I will not buy it full price. I will not do this. I will not do that. I'll still play it though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure I'll play Assassin's Creed. I won't play it anytime soon though. And I won't pay full price for it.
I think that's the issue. And this was interesting. Back to Strange Brigade, which is a game which is made by Rebellion.
Because of the Sniper series?
Yeah, well, they do Sniper series. It's 39 quid. And
which is almost unheard of these days.
It is, other than Microsoft games, which I think are running at 29 quid when they come out new. Like State of Decay was 29 quid. That seems to be their thing. But Rebellion was saying, it was quite interesting. I was chatting to a few of the guys that kind of were involved in that. And they were saying that the problem is that when a game is too cheap, people think it's not a good game because it's cheap. So they do two things. They either wait until it's cheaper or they don't buy it. So what they're trying to do is find that balance. So what they've done with Strange Brigade is the game is 39 quid. Season Pass is still 29 quid, which is quite expensive.
That's a lot of money.
But they are giving quite a lot of free content away. There's a lot of free content. And it looks like with each of the DLC, there are 3 DLCs prepared, and it looks like each of them is a new campaign. So if it's a new campaign, that's pretty impressive.
That is, I mean, we've already spoken about it, and there seems to be a lot of content.
Yeah.
And they've put the two side by side, free content and then the paid for content.
Yeah.
And the free the
free content's good. They've added there's a time mode, there's a horde mode, there's new characters, there's some weapons, and there's loads of shit coming out for it. So that was a good game. So I played that. I played that linked with 3 other players. That was a lot of fun. And obviously at the Eurogamer, it was only 16 quid for the game. A definite bargain.
Well, yeah,
16 quid is a bargain.
You pinged me saying, there's this game, check it out, look at the review, it's cheap here, so let me know. And I watched a review for it. The review, I mean, for
7
me,
out of 10?
I think it was 7.5.
7.5, yeah.
Anything over a 7, even a review, because I'm a bit like, I make my own reviews, but I'm guided by a review. If somebody goes, this is a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, and I think most people probably are.
But a 7.5 out of 10 for Sam Muscroft's benefit, and 16 quid. It's like that to me
really
is a
good,
no-brainer.
And well, we've been playing it for a couple of days since I got back, and it's fun.
It plays real well.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's already there's aspects of it that I like. There's the exploration stuff is like we were playing it last night, and you were like, "Oh, did you go down here?" And I was like, "Yeah." You're like, "No, you didn't." And I'm like, "What? I thought I'd gone down there." No. And you've missed this, and you missed this, and it's like, all right. And then the second time we played that level, I found like entire areas that I'd never even looked at the first playthrough, and because let's face it, these are maps. They're going to be played multiple times.
Yeah,
but we were still looking for stuff.
The point. One of the things that Rebellion was saying was that every time you go into the map, the puzzles are slightly different, and the loot you get is different. And if you play it with 2 people, it's harder. There's more treasure. If you play with 3 people, so on and so forth, and 4 and 5, and that brings an aspect for you to want to play it. If you played it single player, and then you get a couple of players, it'll make you want to go back and play it again because it's slightly different.
Something that I thought was interesting was, even though you're playing together, there was a little touch of every man for himself.
Oh, definitely.
Like, you can loot the other person's stuff. You can, like, you've got the amulet where you can draw the souls in. If I start drawing souls in before you, I get them all.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it was a little bit
there's a bit of competition in there. Yeah, that makes it fun.
And
I think that would make it fun for matchmaking.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, you have to work together to complete it, but you don't have to share.
When there's 100 enemies coming at you, you need to work together. But if you are out for yourself as well, which is an interesting concept.
Yeah. So I played that. What else did I play? I played Ace Combat 7.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I had a little go on it.
What did you think?
It's a nice flight simulator.
I've
not played a combat flight sim for a long time, and the thing is, I was awed by the graphics anyway.
It looked beautiful.
Yeah, I sent you a little video.
Yeah,
and the video does not do it justice. I have to say.
I really look forward to that.
So it was nice. It was fun. It's it's a combat flight sim,
which I love.
But it looks really cool. Plays where you've got like a third person and first person view, so that's cool. Brilliant textures and lighting. That was fun. What else did I do? I played Beat Saber on the VR, which is basically so you remember you got Guitar Hero, right, and Drum Hero and all that. So basically, Beat Saber on the VR is you put the VR on, you've got a red and a blue lightsaber, and you smash the boxes to the drums. So it's got a soundtrack like Eminem's on there. There's some metal on there. There's some rock on there, and it's basically. You move, you duck, you jump. It's awesome. It's really cool. I was like, I could have just played that for the whole weekend.
Is that PlayStation VR?
No, it wasn't.
It
was Oculus Rift. So it's expensive to obviously set it all up, but it is a lot of fun. We also played VR poker.
Get your boy Dench to.
Yeah, I think I did suggest it to him actually. I've suggested it to Dench. VR poker as well. We tried All Stars Poker. So same
How
thing.
does that even?
So it's a shame I couldn't film it because obviously I was in it.
You're in it.
So I have my VR on. Right, cool. And this particular, they've got several environments, and this particular environment was in the old Wild West saloon. So you're sat around the poker table with 4 other players. I think it was 4 or 5 other players, and you look around and you're in the Wild West. You got like there's some tunes going on, cool. Shit going on, right, and so I'd not used VR before. So basically, you use the Oculus, and when you do that, you pinch. So you can pinch to look at your cards, but you can't see the other person's cards. So you pinch to look at the cards. You tap this thing. You've got like a watch, and it brings up like loads of stuff. So for example, you can pull out a 6-shooter. You can pick out the 6-shooter and just start shooting stuff in the bar. So that was kind of cool. You can pick up a pipe.
Shoot the other players?
You can't. You can when you try to shoot them, it just like throws out some like. It's like a pretty
confetti.
paper. Yeah, confetti. Instead, but you can shoot like jars and windows and other people in the bar. You can smoke a pipe and a cigar. You can take a selfie and then take the picture and give it to your mates. If they give you stuff, you can just like lob it. There's all sorts of crap on this. So that was a lot of fun. And obviously it's actual poker. And there was a guy who was doing the tutorial from Canada playing it. And he was saying that the goal is that they want professionals to use this. So it is an actual proper poker game. Like you pick your chips up and put them in. There was a serious aspect to it as well.
Right. Okay.
So that was fun. And obviously you can see the other person and like their VR character, which it was fun. It is. You are definitely immersed. They had Wipeout on VR as well. I didn't get to play it, but it looked fucking awesome.
Oof.
It looked really. That was on the PlayStation. That was PS4. That looked good. Hitman 2 was there.
I
didn't get to play it. Got a little glimpse of it, but I mean it's Hitman.
So I don't know if I've ever told you my history with Hitman.
Is this the last one?
So I've followed Hitman from the start, from the very beginning. Hitman at a point was my favourite game, so much so that I might have a Hitman tattoo because I loved it that
I
much.
should have got you that figure.
I loved it. That figure was 20 quid. You should have bought it anyway. It looked awesome. It was 20 quid.
It didn't look as good in person.
Yeah, that's sometimes the problem. So, I'm like, Hitman, loved Hitman. Hitman was just, I played it and, like I say, there might be a tattoo. And then, the most recent Hitman came out, and I bought, it's not in this room, it's actually on the mantelpiece downstairs. Not on the mantelpiece, on the fire surround downstairs. Yeah. I've got, and the box was like this, it was huge, this massive, it's a beautiful statue.
Is that in the chair?
Yeah, him sat in the chair with essentially putting the silencer on.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, like the effect is like a hardwood floor that the chair's on. It's such a beautiful statue. And in the box, I'm taking all the stuff out, take the statue out, and I'm like, where's the game? And there was a statue and these other bits, and I think there was like the tie and the pin, and no game. And I'm like, well, and I was like, I had the fear that it was going to be the Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's
buy your special edition,
buy a box but no game.
Yeah, and then it had a code, and it was you downloaded the game, and I was like, right, okay, and then it started. So you only got the first 4 levels. They were going to update it monthly. They were going to do this. They were going to do that. It was going to be great. Everyone's happy. Don't look at the man behind the curtain, sort of stuff. And that game just dropped off a cliff for me, because they went, here's 4 levels. We'll give you the rest at some other point in time. Because you bought the special edition, it's free for you, but everyone else has to pay for the new levels and stuff. Because essentially we haven't completed this game. And the levels and the level design and stuff, and as I played it, I was like, this is just
what were the reviews
terrible.
What were the reviews?
Well, they couldn't review it. What were they going to do? They were going to go, oh, well, the first 4 levels were alright, but we're waiting for the rest, and we're waiting for this, and we're waiting for that, and it was so unfinished. And what was finished felt unfinished, because you were like, well, Like I've done one of the missions, and I'm like walking around going, the way the game wants me to do this, it's not letting me do. There was like a guy in the wrong place, and because he was in the wrong place, I'd always get spotted, and it was like one of those where you just pull your hair out trying to play it, and it was just beyond.
Which Hitman clearly did.
Yeah, and yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love the Hitman franchise, but that one, I took a square kick in the balls for that game.
There was what else was there? There was a cosplay competition.
They do like a bit of cosplay at
there were some pretty good fails. I mean, I'm not going to name and shame, but there were some definite fails. There were some series and some Yennifers that probably shouldn't have been, and there was a couple of avatars that looked a bit more like Smurfs, to be honest.
No.
But on the flip side, there was a really good Deadpool. There was a really good Star-Lord, which I didn't get a picture of.
The Deadpool you sent me.
Yeah, there was Star-Lord, was cool. There was a Harley Quinn, which was alright. But we did have a bet on how many Harley Quinns and Deadpools would we see. Now, surprisingly, there was only about 4 or 5. So we were expecting... Yeah, we were expecting a lot more Deadpools, to be honest. There were some terrible Assassin's Creeds. There was all sorts of anime characters that... I mean, I don't know anime that well, but I know what the girls look like, and there's no way that those characters were actual anime characters. Just can't be true. So that was funny. Soul Calibur. I mean, I was excited because Geralt's in Soul Calibur. So, I mean, essentially it's the same game, but you get to play with the Witcher, so that's kind of cool. There were loads of tournaments. Oh yeah, I need to do an impression of this. I'm sorry if the guy that this is listening, but you. So.
Is this the Hearts?
The Hearthstone thing, right? So Tim and I were wandering around, and there was the European Championships for Hearthstone. So for those that don't know, Hearthstone is basically an online card game based on World of Warcraft characters. Oh. So Tim and I get there probably at the crucial moment between the finalists, and basically what's happened is the guy that was the favourite has miscalculated how many points he needs to win. He's done his move, and the guy who he's trying to beat has got 1 point left.
Oh dear.
And the guy that needs to move has got enough points to kill the favourite. So the favourite at this point realises that he's just thrown away the championship, and I think there was like a 10 grand prize.
So there's money.
So and the guy's gone, fuck, and he's just thrown his headset. He's got up, he's shaking the guy's hand, and he's just letting all we've heard in the back is fuck. And the other guy who's won has gone, cool. Just sort of stood up in front of the cameras and gone, sweet. So that was
10 grand. He's thrown.
He literally, and the commentator was going, he's got this in the bag. He's got this in the bag. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, and he knows he's done it. He knows he's done this. Oh, look at his face. And that was that. And we also watched the Street Fighter.
Yep, Street Fighter tournament.
So that was £7,000. $7,000 top prize. And it seemed to be European. Yeah, not much of a prize.
Not much of a prize, and why was it in dollars?
I don't know. It was $7,000, which was weird. And it seemed to be a European Championship. But the part we got up to, like the part before, it wasn't like a semi-final. It was like a finals final before the final.
Okay.
So, and there was an English guy and an Israeli guy playing. It was pretty tight, but the Israeli guy beat the English guy. Okay. And we watched a bit of that. It was quite entertaining. Although I do feel that, again, sorry for Street Fighter players, I do feel that it's not very skillful as fight games go.
Street Fighter has come on.
If it had been Mortal Kombat where you need like 1,000 fingers, I'd have been like, yeah, cool. I mean, I played Tim, and we just button bashed. I kicked his ass like 4 times. I think he beat me once. But I just pressed tap that. We had an Xbox, a PlayStation controller. I just blah, 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 blah. And I still managed to do some moves out of it and like some special moves. And I felt to myself that if I was at a European level, I assume they use the same character. They must know all the moves.
Yeah.
It didn't really seem that skillful. It's not like if you watch like a Gears of War on esports, when they're fighting each other, it's super fast. It's really hardcore. There's a lot of teamwork going on. I mean, I know Street Fighter is like a one player, so it's you versus the other guy. But it was mostly I'm gonna move back, duck, maybe move forward, and hope the other guy fucks up so I can get a special move in and kind of wipe him out. I thought $7,000 was probably just because again, I'm not like at that level, so I'm probably just spouting off. But it didn't seem that difficult, and I used to play Street Fighter when I was a kid.
I was
always pretty good with Guile.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I was always pretty good with Guile. I knew all the moves.
I was a Ken man.
I just feel that I'm shit at Mortal Kombat because there are too many combinations, and I feel that would be a really good tournament. So there was that. There was a lot of indie games, tons of indies, some really cool stuff. Space simulators. There was some good games for kids coming out. A lot of educational stuff. There was some shoot 'em ups. There was a game called Grip, which is a direct cut and paste from a game that used to be on the PlayStation called Roll Cage, which was basically you were a car, like in the future, and you race around the track and you can blow up the opponents and like go through speed traps and stuff. And the coolest thing about it was it had a soundtrack by Fatboy Slim.
All right.
So it was a really cool game. And when I spoke to the guy, he was saying that they wanted to kind of do a car game based on that, and they met the developer who made Roll Cage, who was trying to relaunch it, and they were like, well, we'll finance you and give you a hand with that and launch it on our product. So they've called it Grip, and they've got a drum and bass band from the UK who they wouldn't tell me who it was because they're announcing that in 2 weeks. So it's going to have a cool soundtrack. It looks like a direct copy of Roll Cage, so any Roll Cage fans out there, check it out. You'll probably remember having Roll Cage as a free demo on a PlayStation magazine and always playing that and going, wow, this demo is so great, but never buying the game. But it was actually a pretty good game. And this, I think,
love a demo
for pure nostalgia, I think I'll probably buy Grip, just because it looks the same, just with better graphics. So there was that. What else did I play? Well, Metro Exodus was there. I didn't play it. Sorry, I said at the beginning of the podcast I played it. I didn't. I queued and then changed my mind because it was like really long. So I got to see what they were doing, but I didn't actually play it. But it does look beautiful. One of the guys there played The Division 2. Said it was really cool. He enjoyed it, but it is the showcase from E3. So if you want to see what that was, just check out the E3 thing. Right. It's basically when you go to the destroyed Air Force One.
All right, okay.
So yeah, but he said it flowed really well. It was a nice game, as good as the first, which I suppose is a plus. There was Destiny 2 there. I didn't try that because I didn't have time. Destiny 2, it had a lot of people queuing for it.
Oh, all of them.
Tomb Raider had tons of people queuing for it. Kingdom Hearts 3 for PlayStation was a really popular game. A lot of people wanted to play that. There was Spider-Man, obviously, that was very popular.
Mm-hmm.
I've covered Hitman. What else were the big games there? I think they were the main titles.
So, from a going to a games convention aspect, what was the highlight for you?
Probably Beat Saber. Beat Saber was just a cool game. Like, I loved Guitar Hero, and Beat Saber was fun. And apparently it's been out a while. But if you don't have VR, then a games convention is a great way to test out VR, because you could technically test them. There were like car games there were fighting games, there was all sorts of stuff, and it was all VR. So it's a really good way to get to grips with VR. But I would say I still don't think the world is ready for VR.
No. Not at the price that...
Yeah, the games look good, but they're not perfect. And the guy that we were with, one of the guys we went with, he's got VR. When we played Beat Saber, they were basically using a new... it's like a version of Oculus or whatever you call it. And he was saying, well, we've got this really new cool headset, but the games are still the same. and there's still not a market for everybody having VR. So why are we updating VR headsets when we haven't really got a product to push it to?
Yeah.
So that was a shame.
I toyed with the idea when the PlayStation VR was mentioned originally, and then when they went, "Oh, it's the price of a brand new PlayStation," I went, "I'm good, thanks. I'm not giving you £350 for VR. That's something that's going to be a fad." And then I think they dropped it at one point £100, and I went, "Ooh, no, I think it's still too expensive. £250 for VR."
Yeah.
And I've seen too many videos of people, like the famous video of the guy trying the VR in the shop, and something obviously goes like that, and he just basically falls forward like on his face, and it's like, I don't know.
I think you need to. For some of the things we saw, we could see people like approaching the TV and nearly smashing it, and there were people like looking down and then falling off the chair, and that kind of thing.
Stuff I'm a bit like,
but then I think that comes with habit of playing it. I just feel that like even the Poker VR was good, but it was still a bit Nintendo Wii graphics. I mean, the saloon itself was okay, but the people were not. They were a bit Wii, and I was like, if I'm paying £600 for an Oculus, I want it to look like I want to be in it.
Yeah,
I don't just want to feel like I'm wearing a VR headset. I want to forget that. And that was, I mean, Beat Saber was cool because I think it's good because it's you move around and there's a lot going on. But there are only, I think they said 10 tracks in the game. Now, there is a mod to add any track you want, but I don't want to fuck around adding mods. I want the game to be complete. When I bought Guitar Hero, I had my guitar on all the tunes.
Yeah.
So if I've got a £3,000 PC and a £600 headset, I then don't want a game that's only got 10
you
tracks.
You have to build yourself.
Because I'd only played it for the first time and I got a perfect score. And I was playing it on normal mode. Now, agreed hard mode, if you look on the internet, is hard. But for 10 tracks, how many hard tracks are there going to be? And how long is it going to take before you go, well, I know how this song goes. So I can just replicate it. And it's still got a way to go. I'm not anti-VR.
No, I'm not. But it's in the wrong place.
I'd like to try it more.
It's in the wrong place. If they brought the PlayStation 1 down another £100, they might be able to sell it to me.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon until it's on its back end. When Sony go, oh, we're never going to sell this, then they might drop it again.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will. And then it'll just die, like a lot of things.
So my highlight was like what I was saying. Beat Saber.
That was a highlight.
Strange Brigade because I bought it.
Yep.
And cosplay fails.
I don't even think we can go too far into that because it's probably best we just.
No, it's just funny. I mean,
possibly a weird comparison. But what was your low point?
What was my low point?
What did you go in thinking that's going to be awesome and come out going it wasn't as awesome as I thought it would be?
Nothing really, because although Odyssey didn't blow me away.
So I'm there going, say Odyssey.
Yeah, so although Odyssey didn't blow me away, from what I've seen about it, I knew it was going to be like Origin. I was probably expecting a little more. Maybe the demo they gave you wasn't good enough to really show what it was about, but it was nothing special. So disappointing, no, but not wowed. So it wasn't really a low point. It just wasn't like an amazing point. I mean, there was so much stuff to see there. There weren't really any low points because it was all entertaining. I mean, that guy was he's up there. I mean, that was funny, and I kind of felt bad for him because
£10,000.
I mean, yeah, he lost some
knowing
pennies.
that you pissed it away.
Yeah, he lost some pennies, and literally as he clicked it, you could see he literally clicked the button and then lost his shit.
You see, the thing is, if you were beaten by a better player, there's nothing you can say to that.
Yeah.
You stand up, you shake the guy's hand, you go, the best man won. If you beat him because you beat yourself,
which is what he did,
you know,
because he had it in the bag. He literally he misplaced a card basically. I think the pressure. But I mean, to be honest, the guy was like he was like that before he even pressed the button. So he was obviously the pressure was obviously getting to him.
Jesus.
Yeah. So there you go. That was Eurogamer, EGX 2018.
Gonna go next year?
Yeah, definitely.
Gonna go for longer?
I would like to go Thursday and Friday.
Really?
Just to see.
Thursday and Friday, or Thursday, Friday?
Saturday Saturday night does after parties, which apparently are really good. But I'd like to go Thursday and Friday just to see how different it is, because apparently you get a lot more time to play, and it's like the first 2 days.
Not everybody will be able to go on a Thursday and a Friday.
Yeah, the first 2 days are quite vibrant because obviously everyone's just got there.
Yeah.
So all the developers and all the guys are like really pushing the product.
Something interesting that you said was get some press passes.
Yeah, some press passes. There's a lot of press passes go out. There were loads of people blogging and podcasting and shit going on, and they seem to give away press passes all over the place. I think if we keep this up, if we keep this up for another year, we could certainly go. This is our podcast, or this is your podcast, I should say, and this is what we want to do. I would imagine you can get a press pass on that.
I think at this point it isn't our podcast. I think it's like I was talking to Sam the other day, and what was it? The Core 6, I think he called it, and I was a bit like,
we'll be like the famous 5, but with an extra person.
Yeah, Sinister 6, really.
Yeah, the Sinister 6,
the Sinister
or the famous 5 and a dog. It's just someone's got to be the dog.
I think we know who the dog is.
I think we do. Yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
EGX.
Eurogamer 2018.
Yeah.
Soon to be 2019.
So go out and buy Strange Brigade.
Strange Brigade. Then comment in the video with your Xbox gamer tag, and you can play
we'll play you.
Obviously, I was going to say we'll beat you, but we'll play together.
We'll play together. And possibly pre-order Metro if you haven't, because it did look good.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Even though I didn't play it, it did look really beautiful.
Cool beans.
Cool.
Right. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. The only thing I wanted to add was that gamers, like the guys that did.
So there you go. What do you think of that? Eurogamer 2018 sounded pretty cool. Some good games. Certainly some that I'm looking forward to. So yeah. Get yourselves over to thecookiecast.com, jump on the social medias and give us a shout. For you YouTube watchers, subscribe, comment, like. If you Facebook and social media people, give us a like. Chuck us an email, tell us what we should be doing. Yeah. So that was Eurogamer. Stay tuned for more varying different podcasts coming up in the future. But until next time, I'll say bye-bye.